Man. So it's looking like Stephen A. Smith yelled at Molly Qerim again on ESPN First Take, guys. I think Stephen A. Smith is finally growing tired of Molly Qerim. ESPN, they were having a segment about Caitlin Clark on First Take, and Molly Qerim, ANDREA Carter, Shannon Sharpe, Stephen A. Smith, they were talking about Caitlin Clark, and the conversation got passionate, man. And so Shannon Sharpe started getting irritated with ANDREA Carter. Let's check out a little bit of that before I show you guys the Molly Qerim and Stephen A. Smith clip. Let's check out this clip right here.
For Caitlin, what Molly is trying to say, and what I agree with, is now that we have seen how Caitlin finished this season, there is a good basketball argument for her being on the team, for her making the team. There is now a great basketball argument.
What?
But listen, no, Shannon, listen. How she's playing right now, you just said it 5 minutes ago, was a testament to the rest that she had and the break that she had. We don't know how she would have played without that break. So we're saying Caitlin has now proven herself basketball-wise, but you all weren't making a basketball argument. You weren't making a basketball argument.
We're not saying we were making a basketball argument. Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that. Go ahead, Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Look at her numbers comparable to the other guards that were on the team. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear you.
So that's Shannon Sharpe getting heated with ANDREA Carter. Like I said, guys, you know, the conversation gets passionate, especially when they talk about Caitlin Clark with these women on the panel. Their opinion gets so wishy-washy, and then the people that face backlash all the time is always Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith. So I would like to highlight Stephen A. Smith yelling at Molly Qerim. Let's check out this clip right here. And before I highlight today's video clip, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me if you haven't already. That really does help support my YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you're new.
Rising tide lifts all boats. This woman is box office. Plus, she can play. And the combination of the two would ultimately give all of those wonderful ladies for the wonderful work that they had done over so many years. It would have been validated, even though it came through the conduit was her. Ultimately, it stood to benefit the collective whole. And rather than some out there accepting and embracing that, they resented it, and they tried to use the contributions of others who came before Caitlin Clark to justify their vitriol, instead of owning the fact that what really was their objective and what really was their agenda is that they resented the fact that this young lady who came into the league, took it by storm, and drew in a level of attention that they weren't able to draw.
Was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You got to factor in. But if you're factoring in Diana Taurasi's Olympic experience, Diana Taurasi's how she was with the team, I get it.
Shannon, hold on 1 second. Shannon,
this ain't a lifetime. This wasn't an Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharpe, hold on 1 second. What we're saying is you guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
no,
were right.
Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
that is what you said.
You did not. That's not what you said, Molly.
What are you guys
that is not what you said.
I literally just brought it up.
You were talking about. You were talking about us. You were talking about folks making the point that, at the time that they had picked the Olympic team, Caitlin Clark didn't necessarily deserve it based on her play on the court. When the point that Shannon and I was making at the time was that, wait a minute, in the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She was a marketing whiz. And she was a marketing whiz. Because she is a marketing whiz, and she did it on the court. That's what I'm saying.
We were saying, no, Molly.
So you were ahead of the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you.
At the end of the day, we were making the point, do you want to promote the league or not? And people like ANDREA and others were resistant to that playing a role in somebody making the roster for Team USA. And we were saying, hell with that. You want to promote the sport. You put that girl up in there. And people were appalled at that notion. That was the subject.
Okay, so that's Stephen A. Smith yelling at Molly Qerim. And like I said, guys, Shannon Sharpe added to it as well. And yes, we can see they're like, yo, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. So Molly Qerim is not standing on her original opinion when it comes towards Caitlin Clark because she's trying to avoid facing backlash for telling it how she really feels. And that's the reason why Stephen A. Smith is getting tired of that, because he comes on First Take, he gives his opinion, and he takes all of the criticism that comes with it. And then he will address the criticism on his podcast if he has to. Same with Shannon Sharpe. They both do the same thing. So with Molly Qerim, it's like when she's in that hot seat live on ESPN First Take, she has to say, oh, no, I didn't say that. Molly Qerim was really on more so of the fence of not really being a Caitlin Clark fan. She was more so on the side of, hey, there's more women in the WNBA and we need to be talking about those women and all of the stuff that they done for the sport. Caitlin Clark is not the only one. Let's give praises to the other women. And Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe has been the one that's saying like, yo, Caitlin Clark is important and she's the main reason why we're talking about the WNBA. So give credit where credit is due. And Molly Qerim was on the opposite side of that opinion.
Imagine Caitlin joining this team and spending time on the bench. What is the conversation going to be about the entire time the Olympics is going on? Why isn't Caitlin getting more minutes? Why isn't Caitlin playing? I'm sure people will tune in, but what will the conversation be then?
You know why we didn't do a better job of promoting the WNBA? Because the numbers, the eyeballs, the interest, the sizzle, the headlines were not there. No one cared. The public didn't care. And so now you have somebody, that has the world caring, and you say to her, well, you know what? We want to make purely basketball decisions. It's the right thing to do, and we got to be worried about how other people are going to feel. But you're still complaining about the max salary being $250,000. You're still complaining about the absence of eyeballs. You're still complaining about the lack of headlines and notoriety and pub and cachet. You're complaining about all of these things. And the one person who has proven they can alleviate that concern, that could ultimately serve to benefit the better whole, now we want to sit up there and get all altruistic and stuff and talking about, hey, it's about the sanctity of the game and the level of competition. You're going to win by 30 without her, just like you'd win by 30 with her. It don't make a difference. You make the call because of the betterment of the whole in the end. That is not compromising your integrity. That is business. And y'all are going to find that out.
So I would like for you guys to get in the comment section down below. How do y'all feel about today's video? Don't forget to hit that like button if you made this far in the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Comment down, new sub if you're new sub. Catch you guys on the next one, and we out, guys. Peace.